The topic of discussion today is Yeshua known as Jesus a European-type-looking anti-Semitic figure, or a first-century Judean-looking Jew of the Eastern Mediterranean, who was born into the native lifestyle of Judea, would likely have had such a complexion based on complexity of the first-century Jews? Let us now dive into it. The aim of this video is put anti-Semitic of who Yeshua is out of our view. By the end of this video you will come to know Yeshua in Jew's perspective and Jesus in Gentile perspective. But before going into the analytical facts of the description of Yeshua and who Yeshua or Jesus is, let us now hear from late Dr. Nabil Qureshi's vision he saw concerning Yeshua's complexity. Nabil Qureshi, Explore. Dr. Nabil Qureshi 1983–2017 was a Pakistani-American evangelical Christian apologist. His life and work were marked by a fascinating journey of faith, scholarship, and courage. Let me share some key points about him. Nabil was raised in a devout Ahmadi Muslim family. However, during his university years, he engaged in several years of debate with a Christian friend. After extensive research and dialogue, Nabil converted to Christianity, which he described as the most painful thing he ever did. His decision led to strained relationships with fellow Muslims, but he remained committed to his newfound faith. Nabil authored 3 influential books: Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus, A Devout Muslim Encounters Christianity, Answering Jihad, A Better Way Forward, No God But One Allah or Jesus. In August 2016, Nabil announced that he had been diagnosed with stage 4 stomach cancer. Despite a year of treatment, he passed away on September 16, 2017. But his legacy lives on in most of our hearts. Nabil Qureshi's life and writings continue to impact people worldwide. His journey from Islam to Christianity and his commitment to intellectual engagement left a lasting legacy.
And so I've just been praying to God for direction, for guidance on what to do and how to move forward. And one thing that I really wanted to see was a dream or a vision of Jesus. I'd actually been asking for it because I wanted to hopefully be able to actually ask Jesus questions and get his guidance. And so when I got this dream, it was something that I had been praying for. So I know some people will throw that in the mix and say, oh, well, you were expecting it by faith, so Jesus appeared to you. Other people will take the exact same piece of data and say, oh, you wanted it so bad that your mind produced an image of Jesus for you. Take it however you will. But I had been praying for a vision or a dream of Jesus, and I got a dream. And in this dream, I'm sitting at a balcony of some large indoor structure. It could have been kind of like a mall. I don't think it was a mall, but if you've ever been to a mall where there's multiple levels and you can look down from a higher level into a lower level, like there's a mall here in Houston called the Galleria, and you can look down at an ice rink from a higher level. It was that kind of a balcony, a glass balcony, railing kind of thing. And I was sitting there waiting for Jesus. I knew that I was about to meet him. And then Jesus appears to me. I've always wondered what Jesus looks like. Whenever someone tells me that they had a vision or a dream of Jesus, I ask them what Jesus looked like. And of course, different people say different things. And so you can interpret that however you want to. For me, the way he appeared to me was striking, very striking. He wasn't glowing. Some people say they see a lot of light. I didn't see a lot of light. I saw a man in his young 30s, which was striking to me because whenever I see pictures of Jesus, if you look at paintings or if you look at artist depictions, almost always, subconsciously, I don't know why, but they depict him as a middle-aged man in his 40s. But in my dream, I saw a man who was exactly my age, looked like my peers. Quite handsome, on the lighter skin side, but not white. Dark eyes, short hair, short beard, and he was wearing a white robe with a green sash. Now it was a hunter forest green, a darker green, and the cloth kind of had embedded in it, like the texture, the shape of the texture. I don't know how to describe it, but it was kind of diamond patterned, the sash. There weren't pictures of diamonds, but that was kind of the texture of the cloth. And so when he comes to me, he gives me this huge hug. It was just a big embracing hug, and I felt very loved, very, very loved in the dream. And he sat down and he had a conversation with me. Now, unfortunately, I don't remember what we talked about.
Details of Dr. Nabil's vision. See the link in the description box. With Dr. Nabil's vision, Dr. Nabil described Yeshua, in which I am about to share with you in a moment.
It will just be as nothing compared to what it will be when we really see him face to face. And I will be able to live in his presence forever and forever. Wow.
Welcome back. Let us continue in where we left. Yeshua, commonly known as Jesus, lived in the 1st century CE in the region of Judea, modern-day Israel and Palestine. As a Jewish man, he would have shared physical characteristics with other Jewish people of that time. However, artistic representations of Yeshua have varied significantly over the centuries and across different cultures. Remember that our understanding of historical figures is often shaped by artistic interpretations and cultural context. Like Yeshua's true impact transcends physical appearance, emphasizing his teachings and spiritual significance. It has to be in the 1st century Jews' complexity and not modern Catholic or Seventh-day Adventist depiction of who Yeshua. In the context of 1st century Judea, dark hair was common among Jewish people. The majority of individuals had dark brown or black hair. Yeshua, being a Jewish man, would likely have had dark hair. Brown eyes were also prevalent in the region. While eye color can vary, brown eyes were the norm for most people in ancient Judea. Olive or tan complexion. The Mediterranean climate of Judea would have influenced skin tones. People in this region typically had olive or tan complexions due to sun exposure. Yeshua, as a native of Judea, would likely have had such a complexion. Cultural context. Judean culture. Yeshua, also known as Jesus, lived during a time when Judea was under Roman rule. The cultural context was deeply influenced by Jewish traditions, religious practices, and the socio-political climate. Religious practices. Yeshua was part of the Jewish community, and his teachings often referenced Jewish scriptures and traditions. He engaged in synagogue worship, observed Jewish festivals, and followed kosher dietary laws. Yeshua interacted with people from various backgrounds, including Pharisees, Sadducees, fishermen, tax collectors, and ordinary villagers. His teachings emphasized compassion, love, and forgiveness. Clothing and appearance. Clothing styles reflected the cultural norms of the time. Yeshua likely wore simple, modest garments made of linen or wool. Sandals were common footwear, especially for walking long distances. Language. Yeshua spoke Aramaic, a Semitic language widely used in Judea, He may also have been familiar with Hebrew and Greek due to the diverse population and Roman influence. So connecting Yeshua's appearance to the cultural context helps us envision him as a relatable figure within the historical and religious framework of first-century Judea, and not as modern-day artists describe, as a wild European standing at the so-called Long Towers of America knocking. Yeshua during Passover crucified, rose again and was ascended to heaven after his resurrection. While the Bible does not provide a detailed physical description of Yeshua's appearance in heaven, there are some glimpses and interpretations.
It'll just be as nothing compared to what it will be when we really see him face to face. And I will be able to live in his presence forever and forever. Wow.
Read of a place that's called heaven. It's made for the pure and the free. These truths in God's word he has given. How beautiful heaven must be. How beautiful heaven must be. Sweet home of the happy and free. Fair haven of rest for the weary. How beautiful heaven must be. Pure waters of life there are flowing, and all who will drink may be free. Rare jewels of splendor are glowing. How beautiful heaven must be. How beautiful heaven must be. Sweet home of the happy and free. Fair haven of rest for the weary. How beautiful heaven must be.
The Transfiguration event, recorded in the Gospels Matthew 17, 1-8, Mark 9, 2-8, and Luke 9, 28-36, offers a glimpse of Yeshua's heavenly appearance. During this event, Yeshua's face shone like the sun, and his clothes became as white as light. This transformation reflected his divine glory. After his resurrection, Yeshua still had a physical body, but it was different from his earthly body. Earthly human flesh is perishable, but heavenly bodies are imperishable. 1 Corinthians 15:50. Jesus' resurrected body is designed with eternity in view, and it is not bound by the limitations of our earthly existence. Yeshua's heavenly appearance is beyond our earthly understanding, but it reflects his divine nature and glory. Still he appears in olive-toned skin, short hair, black beard, and brown eyes are not explicitly described in the biblical text regarding his heavenly form, yet still he will return as Jewish Messiah in olive-toned skin, short hair, black beard, and brown eyes. Instead, the focus is on his exalted and eternal status as the Son of God. Acts chapter 1 verses 9-11. After saying this, he was taken up before their eyes, and a cloud hid him from their sight. As they were staring into the sky after him, suddenly they saw two men dressed in white standing next to them. The men said, "You Galileans, why are you standing, staring into space? This Yeshua, who has been taken away from you into heaven, will come back to you in just the same way as you saw him go into heaven."
Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw on the channel on YouTube, please like and subscribe to this channel. On Daily Motion, click follow and get new video updates. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe for more.